As I have told you already, major part of the course will be dedicated to domestic issues, the way economic transition has been made, but the second part will be dedicated to external issues, to external economic links. So the first part, which is dedicated to domestic issues, is entitled, like you can see here, Russian economy, problems of transition or transition to problems. And clever minds may have already guessed what is the hint, because sometimes a lot of Russian officials, analysts, economists try to explain most of the current problems by the mere fact that Russia has launched this transition to market economy. Of course, this was a transition without a precedent, and it explains a lot of mistakes made during those transitions, but I would, as I have already promised to you, as I try to make an objective assessment of what's going on, so I will focus on the other side of transition as well, that part of the problems related to transition have derived from the wrong policies. Not from the fact that transition itself was very difficult, but the way transition has been made provoked the appearance of many unresolved problems eventually. So that is the hint, that is the title. So we come to the first lesson, which is the lesson of today, and we will try to assess the economic importance of the Russian Federation. And it's not easy to assess it as it may seem at a first glance, because a lot of economists would say Russia is a great economic power, it is very mighty, and Russia definitely is among the top economies of the world. Others would say, others who criticize the national economic development, they would say, well, Russia has a lot of problems, Russia is too linked to energy prices, there's no future for Russian economy. So to assess the real economic importance is not an easy thing to do. So let's spend a couple of minutes on that issue. First point will be to assess the size of the national economy. And one of the interesting points, first points, will be to remind to you that Russia is the biggest state in the world by territory. You can see on the slide the official figures from the year 2014 about how many square kilometers Russian territory is, and that's the number one territory in the world. And only European part of Russia accounts for about 40% of the whole territory of Europe. Just imagine. All the countries, including Germany, France, Italy, Great Britain, all together with other European countries, and Russia accounts for 40% of the whole territory of Europe. Just imagine. And Russia may become even bigger. A lot of information has been spread recently about the discovery made back in the year 2007 of the so-called Lomonosov Ridge. And Lomonosov Ridge connects the mainland of Russia with the North Pole. And that means that is a kind of an extension of the continent, which may mean an additional territory for Russia as much as more than 1 million square kilometers under the Arctic Ocean. So Russia may become even bigger. There are all the chances for that. And Russia was the first to submit the bid claiming more territory to the United Nations back in the year 2002. Unfortunately for Russia, it was not accepted for lack of evidence. Still, later on, Russia resubmitted the bid back in the year 2015 in August. There are other countries who also want to reassert their jurisdiction over the Arctic territory. Among them, such countries which are around the Arctic, like the USA, like Canada, like Denmark. But there are also other nations and countries like China or other Asian countries which do not have direct access to the Arctic. They think about the Arctic as a common value belonging to the whole of the world, to the humanity. But that's another concept. We are not here to discuss that concept. And Arctic is very important because Arctic is believed to hold up to a quarter of all the planet's undiscovered oil and gas resources. So that's very important for Russia that the bid should be accepted, and there are all the chances that it will be.